All right, let's dive in. So the July Kitsap County numbers are in, and if you are looking at the Northwest MLS sheet with me, the first thing that stands out is that we have had more new listings and more inventory than we did last July. But pending sales were almost exactly the same. Closed sales were exactly the same, and homes took the same amount of time to sell. So there's a little more to this report than simply saying there were more homes on the market. I am Nikki Shelton, your local Kitsap County real estate broker, and every month I go directly to the Northwest MLS report and break down what the Kitsap numbers actually show. There's no predictions and there's no guessing, just the local data and what it means in practical terms. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the new listings. So in July, there were 494 residential homes that came on the market. Last July, that number was 424. So new listings were up 16.5%, and that gave buyers more newly listed homes to look at than they had at the same time last year. Pending sales were almost flat. We had 325 pending sales compared to 328 last July, which is a decrease of a little less than like 1%. So closed sales were exactly even, given 350 in both July 25 and in 2026. So even though more homes came on the market, that number of completed sales did not increase during the month. Inventory is where we see another noticeable change. There were 834 homes available for sale compared to 786 last July. That is an increase of 6.1%. Months of supply also increased from 2.7 to 2.9 months. So, in plain language, buyers had more homes to choose from than they did a year ago. Homes that closed in July spent an average of 32 days on the market, which was exactly the same as last July. Year to date, the average is 36 days compared with 34 through July of last year. So July's number was unchanged, but the year to date average is 2 days longer. Now let's look at price. The average medium home price was $592,000, which was 1.2 below last July. The average sales price was $754,138, which is 2.2% higher. Those numbers can move in different directions because they measure different things. The median is the middle sale price, the half of the home sold above it and half of the home sold below it, and the average adds up every price together and divides it by the number of sales. So a different mix of higher priced or lower priced homes can move that number more. Okay, so this year to date numbers are a little steadier through July. The median price was up 0.8% and the average price was up 0.9%. New listings were up 4.4%, pending sales were up 4.9%, and closed sales were up 1.7%. Sellers received an average of 99.9% of list price in July and 100% of list price year to date. The report notes that this does not account for seller concessions or down payment assistance. So I would describe July as a month with more homes available and more choices for buyers, while pending and closed sales stayed very close to last year. The year-to-date numbers show moderate increases in activity and prices, with homes taking slightly longer to sell. So for sellers, more inventory means your home has more competition than it did last July. The condition, presentation, location, and pricing of the individual home matters. The county-wide report gives us a big picture, but your pricing strategy needs to be based on the most relevant local comparable sales. Okay, now for buyers, there are more homes to choose from, so that's good news for you, than there were a year ago. But that does not mean every home will sit or that every seller will negotiate, but it may give buyers more opportunities to compare their options before making a decision. That is your July 2026 Kitsap County market update directly from the Northwest MLS sheet that you see on the screen. If you have any questions about what these numbers mean for your neighborhood or your plans, reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. You can find me at nickishouses.com, or you can always shoot me a direct message, and I'm happy to reach out that way. Okay, thanks so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your month, and I will see you next week for our regular Keeping It Real. Have a great day. Bye-bye.